Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another OCC podcast. Today I am joined by my co host, Nathan Stubby. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad. How about yourself?
I am doing very well. Hey,
Good,
I
good, good,
know
good.
you were just at the MAC 3 event. You were there in
Yes, sir, I
person.
was.
How was your in
Yep.
person experience?
It was amazing. Honestly, the energy, the excitement, like just being there and getting into like the midst of it. And we were in the third row back. And you had like an upfront view of everything right there. It was amazing. It was quite
Yeah, it was
the
incredible to see.
experience. Highly
Since
recommend.
I, yeah, since I knew you were there and some of the other teammates like Mike Mendy and stuff, I
Yep.
seen he was right at the front row.
Yep.
And so I can
He
only
was, yeah,
imagine
right in the front center.
Imagine the
Yeah,
the view you
it
guys
was amazing.
got of the match.
Yep. Yep. It was good. It was great.
I knew that we had a lot of great camera angles from in the matches, being on
Yeah.
the we bought the pay-per-view and stuff. So, what was your in-person
Yep.
experience of watching the matches, the intros, meeting all the athletes and everything?
I think the intros were probably some of the coolest parts I've ever seen. Um, but the matches, a lot of time the cameraman was kind of blocking me from the matches, but I think you can almost feel the power that's there. Like if you know what I mean, like you're so close, you can see the tension, and I know like you can see it over the video as well, but it's just being there in person and hearing the guys and like you can hear everything and you can see them walk in. You can almost feel the heat of the sparks, right? Because they're just walking
Yeah,
right past you, and you just being there is so much of a better experience, especially getting those front row seats. It's amazing. Yeah.
that's awesome. That's awesome to hear and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And were there any like other than seeing it directly on the match, were there any screens that you could watch it through as well?
There was no screens, but there was a big projector on the wall that showed who was up against who and what the points were.
Oh,
Especially for the tough thing at the beginning. There was who came next, and I don't know if it was on a live stream or not. But yeah, it was like, okay, Staken's next against whatever the other guy's name is from US. And then, you had LSSer against Bullzan, and you had like the different people in line, and then the different points that they won and the points at the top. But there was no like actual screen you could watch it, the live thing on. No, just had to be there, I guess.
well, which is incredible. You were there, so obviously you got to see it all in
Yeah,
person. I just wasn't sure because I
exactly. Yep.
wasn't there, and sometimes at venues they have other screens as well where you can watch it through.
Yeah. And apparently, since our last podcast, Ian said there might be something like that in the future. So something to look forward to, I think.
Yeah, no, and that would be
Yeah.
awesome to go to and enjoy
Yeah.
that. So, starting
Yep.
at the team event, what was your experience? I know I've never seen it in person. I kind of watched some of the videos of the first tough event that they had. That was not at a MAC event. That
Yep.
was just a tough event, and Ian was in that, and some other legends like Mike Gould and others.
Yep.
Rick Heidebrick.
Yep.
Watching it in person, what were your thoughts?
My thoughts at first, it was super cool. You had these two teams standing on either side of the stage. They had kind of like their coaches on either side talking to them. And then you had the table in the middle, and they kind of walked up and they were there, right? Which was amazing for the tension, the excitement, all that kind of stuff. But I think as it went along, because there were so many rounds
Yep,
and a lot of the same people just kept pulling each other over and over, you kind of knew what was coming. Like as soon as Zach pulled Eric, is it Zach? Yeah, I think it's Zach. Zach pulled Eric like three times, but you know every time it's gonna win. And don't get me wrong, those are both very strong arm wrestlers, but just from the first one, it was such an easy win for Zach that you just know what's going to happen as soon as you throw them together again. And I think they could remedy that because I believe the last one was you had two of each weight class, right? Correct me if I'm
yeah,
wrong, but they then you can switch them up a lot more and it makes it a lot more interesting, I find. Even if you did like four weight classes or just four of each yeah, I guess eight people on a team, and then two per weight class, so just four weight classes. I think that would even be just that much more interesting. But
Yeah, so you could swap out the
overall,
colors
it was
slightly.
amazing. Yeah, yeah, just to see, okay, yeah, this person lost to this person, but in the weight class, this person still dominates over that guy, or whatever, right? Just switch them around more.
Yeah, no, that would be really nice to do maybe in the
Yeah,
future to see them do that. I
I think
didn't
so.
watch the whole team event because I had seen part of it and then hanging out with my daughter and then Jake was here and we just chilled a bunch
Okay.
before watching it
Yep.
because we knew that the whole event would be a long time, which it went, I think,
Right.
over the time that they had accounted for.
Oh yeah. Yep. It
So
went a whole hour over. Yeah.
yeah, so we didn't go on till just before the super matches started, and then we watched some of the team event back and stuff a little bit here and there. But
Yeah.
it in the time that we watched the team event and we saw seen clips and stuff of it, it was already bulls in. It was the anyways, I think the lightest weight class. They went twice, and it was just Staken. I think got like his wrist taken right away, and then it was just like
Yep. Yeah, that was versus Staken versus what was the other guy's name? Um like Greasley or something? I forget his
okay.
last name. That was yeah, they just kept going against each other. I think they went like 15 times and a lot of times like three in a row. Like they did so much pulling that like at some
Round.
point it was just like yeah, like every round they just did like at least five of them were them. Like they just kept going.
Oh,
But yeah, so
but
that guy really carried it for the team.
and Staken, I'm assuming, lost them all.
Every single one. Yeah, I don't think he won a single one against the other guy. Yeah.
But yet at the same time, Canada versus US, he was Canadian, but Canada absolutely dominated. Like the point difference was,
Yes.
did it end at like 68 to 106?
It was something really large, yeah. But I think the whole reason they even got those 68 or I think it was 69 or something points is literally because of that, the lightweight guy.
All the other matches they
I think
lost.
I think so. Maybe one? No, I think Jamie Staken lost one, I think. I can't remember entirely now. I don't know if they have it up
Yeah, I
here.
didn't see any of that up, but yeah, I wasn't
No,
sure.
I don't think they have the tough event up. But
No, it's very interesting. And then I don't
yeah,
remember all the matches, the super matches, name for name. I know it was
yep, I've
the
got it
first
up here.
was
So,
Blake versus someone.
no, the first one was Coach Ray against Josh.
Oh yeah, Coach Ray and Josh.
Yeah, Coach Ray and Josh.
Viewing
Honestly,
it
I
from
think Josh put up a really good fight.
viewing it from our end, it looked like Coach Ray was in control the whole time, and he was letting Josh into the match. Did it seem that way there too, or did it seem like he was actually they were both in the match, and Coach Ray just with so much more experience and technicality, he was able to pull off the win, make it look that easy.
I think I think Josh was still in the match. But I think as soon as it went to that hook, he kind of lost his chances because they went to the hook pretty quick. And I think
Yeah.
Josh actually could hold him a bit, but Ray was just so much more dominant in the hook that he ended up taking all three. I think for sure the first one, I think Josh was still in the match for sure. The other two, more debatable whether or not Ray was just kind of, letting him hold him or not.
Yep.
Um, but I don't know.
Yeah, definitely very impressive for Josh to even get that chance to pull
Oh,
Coach
for
Ray.
sure. Yeah.
And then
Yep.
yeah, and he wasn't even the only one that from our team or our surrounding teams that pulled Coach Ray from our own very own club.
Yeah.
We had
Correct.
Evan Manners, he pulled him as well in the
Yep.
tournament.
He did. He did. I think, like, obviously, Coach Ray dominated that tournament. he said Evan had a good hit, which was cool. Um, but yeah, I think he was really just letting Evan kind of take it, as far as he felt like it, and then he kind of finished him off. I think that pro tournament, I think it was the pro up to 205 or something, one
Yeah,
189 205 or something like that. And I think he easily takes that. Like there's no competition for him there really.
yeah.
Like
And
it
then
was,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure, yeah, that was crazy. And then the second super match was Blake versus,
Blake versus Matt Oliver.
yeah,
And
which was
I think
great.
Blake was the definite favorite, but Matt was severely underestimated. 100%.
Yeah,
Like
what
he got him.
I didn't quite understand was when Blake set up for that first one, he went into press and automatically gave up his wrist and kind of his pronator, which I was like, which
Yeah,
every time I've seen Blake pull, especially in a super match, like in a tournament, he seems a little more comfortable. But in a super match,
yeah.
I feel like he gets so desperate for the pin. I don't know.
He
That's
tries
just
to get it right
me.
away.
I know I kind of said that when we were talking about going into the
Yeah,
three, that he's if as
yeah,
long as he would stay focused and everything and get good position. But I seen right away as soon as that first hit, he like not only did he give up his wrist, but he gave up his pronator a little bit, and I was just went
yeah.
right into what Matt did. And then the second round, I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly the second round, but then the third round, he went for a top roll and actually completely took him, thought he took him, but the ref didn't call and then lost.
Yeah,
And then,
yeah, I saw that. That was
which
very
I
unfortunate.
was
I think
super
he should
surprised
have
because
started
I'm
from the
like, as soon as
beginning.
I seen that top roll hit, I was like, he's got the rest of the match. But then they didn't call
Yeah,
it a pin. And then I was
yeah,
like, oh,
I
what
know.
were your thoughts
It's
on that match, seeing it in live?
yeah, I think he should have gone for top roll the whole time. And I think it starts to become like a little bit of a nerves thing for sure. Because yeah, that top roll was really good on that last round. But I do think Matt is quite a bit stronger. I know like a lot of people like Blake, and I do too. Love him, he's a great guy. But I think I don't know. Matt just seemed to the first two rounds at least, Matt seemed to kind of control that match. It was yeah. I don't know what to say really about that one, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's great. And then what was the third match? Was that Milo?
Yes. Yes, that was Milo versus Shikar Verma.
I know when we had
That
Ian.
one, sorry,
I
go
know
ahead.
when we had Ian Carnegie on that
Yeah.
Ian said he thought if it went like strength wise, Chikara would be the stronger man,
Yeah.
and if technicality, it would be Milo. What did you see on
Really?
your end?
I saw, honestly, from where I was, I pretty much saw Milo destroy him. Like, I think from what I remember, Shikar kind of stopped him, but he kind of just plowed through him, to be completely honest. And like, I don't know, when I saw Shikar go up there, I was like, "Ooh, this could actually be pretty good." But then they pulled, and I'm like, "Huh, maybe we're underestimating Milo here."
Yeah,
Like,
I the same thing because hearing that and hearing from some other people,
yeah,
they were like, "This Shikar guy is very strong." I heard some other people speaking about it as well, and they were kind of worried. They're like, if he
yeah,
gets in a bad position, I'm pretty sure even Devin and Auden talked about it. They're like, if he gets in a bad
okay,
position, it could be a bad day for Milo.
yeah,
And then he goes in, he doesn't even top roll at all. He completely hooks him. Just the first round was just
yeah,
like no grab, bang, straight to the pad. And then I
yeah.
even Devin in the corner say, "Why do people think the Lariats all need a strap?" And I was like, because I don't know if you could hear that off the stage, but
I
through the
couldn't hear it now.
the mics, we could hear that. And I just was like chuckling. And I was like, because he went
Yeah,
right into that hook with him and just plowed through him. And I was like, and that was like almost all the rounds. one round it was a little sticky at the bottom, but I think if Milo would have made a readjustment, they would never have even gotten sticky.
But
I think it was just
yeah,
he
no, exactly.
and stuff on that one round.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't
Yeah,
even taking
I
a
think we
crazy like advantageous setup. Like Milo seemed very uncomfortable for Shikar to grip up with, just in general.
I think it's because he was so much taller. Like I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure Milo's quite a bit taller than Shikar.
Oh yeah. But Shikar looked
Yeah.
like the more built man. Like
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Milo looked a lot slimmer. Like I their weight discrepancy was probably very close, but being Milo
Yeah.
being so much lankier that he just holds more weight overall.
Yeah. Okay.
And then
The
what was
next
the
one,
fourth match?
um Danimal Labrie versus Daniel Schwartz.
That was
That one,
the Ottawa High Hookers dominated.
I think so. Oh yeah. I think with Devin whispering in their ears too, though, like I kept hearing them be like, "Oh, hey, do this, do that," and he'd like say good advice, and then they would do it, and then be like, "Boom," immediately good feedback.
Yeah.
Um, which I think is a good thing to have that, Devin as your coach, basically.
And that
Um,
like one of the greatest arm wrestlers of all time, standing
oh
in
yeah,
your corner, giving you advice is alone a couple percent of extra boost of energy just to like
oh
want to
yeah,
just show like yeah, like man or whatever.
yep, yep. But I don't know. I don't know much to say about that match. I enjoyed it. They were both kind of like glaring each other down. Like when they were walking around, they would just like look at each other like this way and that way. They'd be like looking across the table, and it was funny.
Campbell Mabry's like I think he's in his 50s or
Yeah, he's
around.
older.
Yeah,
I think they were both older though.
he seems strong.
But he is. I'm pretty sure he's really good. Yeah,
I
he
was
seems really good.
yeah. He like the first match, like he got a little sticky into the King's move, and he was like very out.
Yeah,
And then the second one, he just he just attacked uh, Dan Schwartz's pronator a little more, and it seemed to
yeah,
just completely shut him down. Like even in that hook, just like he just took a little bit more of Dan Schwartz's pronator, and as soon as he like, and it was like Dan Schwartz was
yeah,
shut. Seemed like he just held him there in the hook. I don't
yeah.
know. That's the
I
scene.
think. Yeah, yeah. I couldn't see a ton of it from where I was sitting, but I should probably watch the video of it. But I don't
Yeah, I
know.
got. I don't know how long I can watch it on, like restream it on my
No,
yeah,
yeah, I don't
because
know.
I bought it here, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And then
The next one, it was Joseph Spolger versus Shea Dickey, which I found to be one of the more interesting matches.
that's
Those were quite good fights
yeah, and
because
I know Ian said when he was speaking with us that most times the matches at Mac don't start off with one person getting a score or like a match on the board and then others coming back. And I
Mhm.
feel like this whole Mac event completely disproved that whole point. There
I
was
think
multiple
so. Yeah.
matches on this card that the score would go back and forth.
Yep. Yeah, I think, and from what Ian said too, like you have this unknown name, Joseph Spolger, unknown to most people. I obviously know him from the Arm Cats events.
Yep.
But then you have Shea Dickey, who used to be a much bigger figure. I guess he still is now. But yeah, like you have this well-known name and this unknown name, and he wins the first match, and it's like oh boy, what's gonna
Yeah.
happen here? I think that tension really reached a high point, and then Shea Dickey won the second one, and we're all just like, okay, what's gonna happen here? Like the outcome is truly unpredictable at that point. You don't know what the other guy's capable of, but you see him win one round, and then it's it was
Yeah.
amazing.
He was in that
Yeah,
match. I feel like the first two rounds, the third round still. I feel like the fourth round, then he was out already. It,
he was out of gas. Yeah,
his gas
I
tank. He
think so.
was running that first match. He ran at his 100%. I think just to get that pin,
Oh yeah.
and
Yep.
yeah, and it was like almost like Jay Dickey never was able to get boots on the ground until the second round. And then as soon as he was able to
Yeah.
get boots on the ground, Joseph Folger wasn't able like that 100% force that he couldn't do a second round of that.
He couldn't keep it up. Yeah. And I think it almost felt like Shea Dickey had to get moving,
Yep,
and Spolger had the instant force, and then just like you said, it switched. For sure it switched.
which that was a very interesting match. It was awesome.
That was very cool. Yep. Yep. And then one of the slightly less interesting match, just because he won it by storm. Mike Hit versus Matt Smith. Now, obviously,
Yeah,
Matt Smith is a huge name in our area for
yeah,
sure. And then you just have this guy from, I think he's from Idaho or Indiana or something like that, Mike
yeah.
Hit, and he shows up and wipes the board. What were your thoughts on that one?
I was super surprised because just seeing how mentally Matt Smith came into it and everything, and seeing just how he was looking and stuff, he didn't seem like he even
Yep.
cared.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
other
I
times
agree.
you see him
Totally agree.
fired up and like revved up, he didn't seem to
Yep.
care in this match. And you even seen Devin in his corner like every time be like, "Come on, Mike, just ask for the strap." And then he'd just
Matt,
ignore
yeah.
Devin, go up to the table, not ask for the strap or anything, and just get like,
It's like it was like he knew he didn't have a chance or something, which is
yeah,
a very weird, that's a weird attitude to take to a super match. That's
yeah. I don't.
right. Like,
Maybe that wasn't it at all. Maybe there was other stuff going on behind the scenes. I'm not sure, but from what I seen, it just seemed
yeah,
like he wasn't mentally there.
yeah, yeah. And Mike Hit, yeah. What do we know about him? I talked to him before the super match. I didn't even recognize him at first. I was just like, whatever, just talking to another guy. And then I'm like scrolling through the list, and I'm like, huh? Is that guy? And then I go back. I'm like, are you Mike Hit? And he's just like, yeah, I am. I'm like, dude, that's so cool. So like, yeah, we got talking and whatnot, this and that. So I was kind of, secretly cheering for him, even though Matt Smith, of course, is the main guy there that what we wanted to win. But yeah, like he swept that board, and I don't know. That was quite the performance.
He looked super jacked too.
Yeah. Yeah, he was he was like shorter than me, but a lot bigger, if you know what I mean.
He's shorter
For
than
sure.
you.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't
Yep.
even realize. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
seen
He
some
wanted
of the
to
stats
he
and
wanted to
some of
after
the
pull me, but there was no after pulling after, so I was like, we left. Yeah. We left like at 10:30-ish, and they were basically canceling after pulling more or less, so unfortunate. But
yeah.
yeah.
And then was pork chop after
Pork
the next.
chop versus Jerome Loud. Yeah.
I
Yeah, that
was
was the next one.
I was slightly disappointed with that match. Just even the
Why is
way it
that?
ran and everything.
What do you mean?
Just in general, like the way like they would go for a grip, and I felt like it took so long. Like I just wanted them to strap up and go, and the way like Pork Chop was literally forcing Jerome Loud to like grab like with his hand completely down, right, and
I
then Pork
know.
be
I
like
know.
this, and Jerome Loud was grabbing, and Pork Chop would
Yep.
grab like this, and then he was able
Yeah,
to
you
like he could be like up here or here, and like it would just
yeah.
was over Jerome's completely over him.
Yeah. And then I guess like I was talking to Jerome after, and he said too, like he was down and the ref like didn't really like they corrected it, of course, but then they left it at certain spots and he was like, this is not working. But he won one of them,
Just
which
give
is
me
which is
one
good.
second. Give me 1 second.
Yep.
You gonna come and join the Zoom
Yeah.
meeting? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Just personally, just watching that match, I really wanted Jerome Lau to win, and so
Yeah.
being there, just watching how it went and seeing how the ref, the first two MAC events I felt like went a lot quicker because they were not like they wanted the opponents to be squared up, the wrists to be straight and everything. But
Yeah.
I feel like with the refs they use this time, they're great refs, incredible refs in the CAWF, which is the Canadian Federation. But I
Yeah.
felt like with how they've dumbed down the rules slightly, these guys still wanted to apply all the finicky stuff of your wrist has to be this. It's got to be like perfect, perfect, perfect to start the match.
Yeah.
And then if like you're complaining about that finicky thumb knuckle, which you can pretty much see it, but they want you just that little bit farther down and stuff. And then I don't know. And then the whole strap thing, I'm pretty sure in the other events that if you asked for it, it immediately went to strap. And this time they were doing a coin toss.
Yeah. Well, I think the strap thing was you had to both agree on it. And I think Ian said that as well when we talked to him. And I even had that at the tournament where one guy wanted it, I didn't want it. And so they were going to toss a coin, but they couldn't find the coin. So they just didn't do straps. We slipped anyways, but oh well. But yeah, you both had to agree to want the straps, basically, is what the thing was. Because I know
Oh,
Mike Mendy had that against a Ole Danilov, the British Columbian guy.
yep.
And whatever. Mike said he wanted straps, and the other guy didn't, and so they did a coin toss. But
And did it go to straps?
yeah, yeah. But the other guy, I don't think understood because I guess he doesn't speak English very well, so he got really mad at Mike. Thought he was cheating him or something. I don't know, if Mike, if you heard Mike say that, but
That's hilarious.
that's the next battle here, actually. It
Oh,
is Olev Danilov versus BLM.
yeah.
I
Which,
expected that to go way different.
how'd you expect it to
That
go?
was I expected BLM to put up a way better fight.
Me too,
And
especially after watching
I
how Matt Mask ran over Ole, and then
yeah,
I knew how like BLM has been in the past, and then like he was getting his setup and everything, because even Ole was like in his after the little this speech they have like with where Coach Ray would ask him how the
oh
match
yeah.
went. He's like, "Oh, I didn't know there was so much tricks in the setup," and then I was like, but I thought like if BLM did all those tricks, he would like just rip it out. But
Yeah, and that's what I was expecting
himself in
too.
some
But
bad positions. Like he was trying to
BLM.
back pressure, but he was like back pressuring like out here. Like I
Right.
don't know if you could see it. Like from the camera angle, it looked like he was trying to like back pressure out here, and I was like, oh, that looked like a scary place to be.
Yeah. I don't
Like
know.
literally on the camera
Maybe it
angle,
was
it looked
because
like his forearm was like bending. Yeah, no, it was
yeah,
like
that's not great.
yeah, that maybe that was just the camera angle or something, but it looked like it
Yeah,
got a slight bow in it, like his forearm, like round.
right. Yeah, and it's weird because like even Mike Mendy put up a good fight against Ole. Which I'm not saying that Mike's weak. Like obviously Mike is really, really good, but Ole, like does that mean Mike could be a good competitor for BLM?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know where they
We should make
rank.
that a super match.
Yeah, just put that as a match on the next Mac 4 event in
Yeah,
Toronto.
yeah. Okay. Interesting one. John Tyrion and Daniel Price.
That one was very
That one
interesting.
we thought that would be very one-sided, but Price put up a very good match there. That was good on his part.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I didn't
But
know
then
John
again,
Tyrion. I didn't know
it
John
was
Tyrion
left on.
had that many losses on the left hand.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like when they announced it, they're like 15-0, and no, 0-15 or whatever.
15, 15 matches or something. Yeah.
And I was like,
Like he's never
like,
won.
like he's like, yeah, I never won on the left hand before. I just broke the streak. I was like, what? That's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a great match,
I
and
know.
but you could see every time John Tyrion would let up just a little bit to like look at the crowd, uh, he would
Yeah.
get like Daniel Price would like really get a. You could tell it was a
Take
very
advantage
hard
of it.
match and that he had to really concentrate.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know. I think it was good. I think if it was right hand, it would be a lot more just total demolition. But
yeah, well,
the fact that
yeah,
it
that
was left
would not
hand
be-
really, really set it up. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Doug Ford versus Alan, or sorry,
not-
Doug Ford. Doug Allen versus Alan Ford.
yeah,
Um, I don't know. It was pretty one-sided and
yeah.
from what I could tell. Um,
Alan Ford had the full
yeah,
hand control the whole time. Like he got that first top roll when Ford just took him that in the one sweep on that first hit. I was like,
yep.
unless Doug Allen can really make adjustments, he's not in that match because normally when
No.
Alan Ford is that crisp with his top roll off the first one, you have to make some
Yeah.
significant changes just to change it up because he was so confident after that first win, it going that easy
Oh yeah.
was confident. Like
Yeah.
he was not gonna like he didn't let off the brakes a little bit. And you even heard him
No.
like, afterwards say he's like, I was expecting more. And that's not what you want to
Yeah.
hear after
Oh
a
yeah.
match. You want somebody to come
Not
in and
really.
I was expecting more, so I got really trained up and kind of easy. Like it's like oh crap,
Yeah.
like
I know. Yeah, so that one was kind of in my opinion, one of the more boring ones. Just
I
seeing him
enjoyed it
easily
because
sweep the stage, obviously. Okay. Okay.
I enjoyed
Just
it just
sitting there, it
because
was just
I want to see Alan Ford do well, and so for him to get another win like
yeah,
that, that's awesome. It's I
yeah,
think huge for him, and that just puts
for
him
sure.
another step up on keeping on continuing to maybe climb into that top 10 in North America. Or well, I think he is in that top 10 in North America or bordering it, but then
Uh,
even
Something like that.
climb.
Yeah. We can Alan Ford.
Yeah, I'm not sure what rankings he might be on, but yeah,
Yeah,
we can always jump to the next
he
match.
is. Yeah. Okay, the next match was, in my opinion, the most interesting one. Of course, a lot of people were there for John Tyrion, for Blake, but the pork chop versus Constantini, Tiny.
That was awesome.
That was the craziest super match I've ever seen.
I hope people were betting
Yes,
on that match, and I hope people like put a lot of money towards Pork Chop and Tiny for that match because that was
I think
crazy.
so. Yeah,
It was
that
like we were watching it live, so we were watching it on the TV live in the basement, Jake and myself,
Yep.
and then at supper time, here with my
Okay.
daughter and my wife and Ashley get back, and so they're like, "What do
Yep.
we want for dinner?" So we're like, "Whatever, just order wings and stuff, and we'll just throw some frozen pizzas in the air fryer or in the
Yeah, for
oven."
sure.
So
No, but yeah.
we order up wings. We head to town, Jake and myself. So that's like at five
Yeah.
o'clock, and that was just before that match. So we're in the vehicle on the way to town. I pull out my phone. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm watching it even while we're on the way to town. And then like getting the wings and stuff. I'm like in there at the pizza place, like
Yeah.
watching it like this. I'm like, Jake, look, he got another female pork chop.
Gotta
Like it's
see
going
it.
back and forth. He's like, no. He like literally told the guy. The guy's like, you can pay now. He's like, wait 1 minute. We watched it finish the round, and they were like long rounds. And then he goes out and
Oh yeah,
pays.
they were.
He's like,
That's
you gotta wait
amazing.
a minute. And so like, yeah, that was very entertaining.
This is serious stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that was just him getting into that king's move position and then slowly but surely prying open the pork chop's wrist before taking it and just so
yeah.
amazing. So good to watch.
I personally don't
And
mind the King's
I think,
move. I
yeah.
don't like it when it really goes under the table, but I didn't
Mhm.
think you were able, like on these Mac tables, it was you were able to really. But
Yeah, not really. No.
but
I think,
really, he really showed that you can King's move on those tables really well if you want to. And
yeah.
we won the match. It was a battle, and then even on that last round, just finishing in a press like that, that to
Yeah.
me was incredible. Like I knew they're
Oh
both
yeah.
good, but for
Mhm.
him to finish off the match like that, like they were both like almost dying, and with that one
Oh
like
yeah.
that Jason Constantini did when he ripped like with the strap on, he like
Yeah.
completely like busted up Pork Chop's wrist. It looked like and stuff. It looked super
Yeah,
red.
something happened. Yeah. And I think just Pork Chop was so confident from the previous one against Jerome. He was like, "Okay, I won this one." And like he knows obviously that Constantini is really good. But for him to go up there and just be like, "All right, crap. He just won the first round." And then the Pork Chop takes back two and it's starting to look bad for Constantini. And then Constantine gets in there and really just tears him apart. And I'm pretty sure they were both bleeding by the end of it. It was
Yeah, they were
crazy.
like Constantini's elbow was busted up.
Yeah, his elbow is destroyed. Yeah.
You could literally
Yeah,
like
same
see
with
like
the,
every time like he would shift on the pad, you would see his like all
yeah.
the skin just like prying up on the side. It was like
Oh,
brutal. You're watching it in the like camera view from like his elbow and stuff as you're watching. If it's going off the back, you just see like
yeah.
all the skin fry up, and it's like, oh, you're like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
about to get bloody because of all that force going through that elbow.
Oh, yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, that was crazy. Okay. Second last match was the super heavyweights, Rick Heidebrink and Philip Larson.
Yeah, Philip Larson, Sweden. He came in
Yes.
and
He looked like a Viking. He had
he
the
was
full
like,
beard and
right?
stuff. That was good. I think it was relatively one-sided on Philip's part. From
Definitely.
what I could see.
From what I
Like,
could see too, he like completely took the hand. Like
yeah, immediately.
had nothing in the match. Like Rick is a top roller,
Mhm.
and that is like his ace move, and he rarely goes to any other move, and he never even got to his top roll. Like
He
his
didn't
wrist
even get to
went back
try.
a little
No.
bit, and he would start to lose pronator, and every
Yep.
round, like you could see that Philip Larson was able to get over his pronator just a little more as he was taking the
Yeah.
risk. So he knew that every like the first round, Philip as he pinned, his wrist kind of went slightly back, and then the second round
Yeah.
it's flat, and by the third round, he was able to add even a little bit of cup, and you could see that
Yeah,
was just wearing down on Rick had Rick's
it was
pro
getting
name.
rid of him so quick. Yeah. As much of a disadvantage as he like not a disadvantage, but like even the little bit that he could have had with Phillips still being slightly out, um,
Yeah,
pressing there. By the end of it, yeah, I think he was done.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He was.
So
He didn't seem to be in the match. I was really hoping he would be in the match, and I knew Philip
I
was
was too.
good because he did
Yeah.
have a match against Brad Grundy and beat him, but
Right.
thought maybe just Brad Grundy hadn't been on point that day. But
Right.
Philip just showed that the way he handled Rick Brick was he's just too much.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay, and then the final one, the main event. Auden Larrett versus Artem Taranenko. That match that was quite the match.
It was
Oh
pretty
man.
interesting to watch.
It was entertaining. It's definitely
Definitely
entertaining.
entertaining. I think Auden went a little overboard. I
Definitely.
I like
Oh yeah.
Auden and I want him to do well and I want him to continue to progress and stuff. But
Yeah.
I feel like there was a point where yeah, get hyped up, get yourself hyped up, get everyone hyped up so that they hype you up, kind of. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you have that attitude of I'm in this, I'm going to have it, and then kind of everyone
Yep.
starts to believe you in the room, right? And they start to cheer you on. But I feel
Yep.
like he crested the mountain. He went a little too high, and like everyone else was kind of like they're watching it and they're like, "You don't have it. We can see you don't have it. Why are you pretending to have it?"
Yeah,
And
you're overhyping this. Yeah.
yeah, like
I
that
think
first
I think
the slip
the first sign was
in the slip,
I
he looked extremely dominant. I'm like, whoa, he's in the match.
yeah,
Even when
which
they got
I
that
think
first
he
grip up,
was.
the
Yep.
first grip up when he's like, "Grr," and he's like, you're effed, and then it was just
Yeah.
boom, side pressure hit, done.
Yeah.
And it was pretty much that every other round.
Yes, I think he was in the match anyways though. Like I think he has a good possibility if he goes a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't. I
Just
think
for me, when he was just like when he kind of stopped Artem and then he yelled at him and then Artem took it, like that was way overboard, in my opinion.
yeah, in my opinion, it was way overboard
That
too. I was like,
was
hey, you could have just instead of starting to talk, you could
yeah.
have actually like focused on what you're doing. But
Yeah, you
I,
could have been like, "Oh crap, that was a good hit. I managed to stop it. What am I gonna do next?" Instead of yelling at him and then yeah, Artem took advantage of that distraction and really just flattened him out there.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I watched Artem's post match talk and stuff like that he uploaded on
Yeah.
his YouTube,
Oh,
and
okay.
he
I haven't seen it.
from that he seemed to act and say that he didn't really like. He said he really felt that Auden's hand was pretty decent, but
Yeah.
he didn't feel any threat really at all in the match other than that.
Hmm. Okay.
So
Huh. I
maybe
wonder if he
he's
slipped just to get a feeling for it then,
yeah.
or maybe he just likes straps better. I'm not
So I
entirely
think
sure.
everyone I think nowadays like we all train in
Wow.
strap time. So
Yeah, but I don't know.
yeah, yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know. Going without the strap, Auden definitely has a bigger hand and a longer lever, so that
Yeah.
would have likely played an odd advantage to him. But I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And then
Hmm.
how was the tournament after and everything?
It was good. I liked it. I liked the way they set it up. I liked how fast they did it, and I don't think there were too many repetitive. Obviously, it wasn't a novice tournament, so they didn't have like just crowds of people waiting for whatever this, that, and the other thing. Um, I like how I like and dislike how they split it up into two groups. One thing that really stood out to me was they took the winners of each group and paired them off against each other. So chances are, like they took the first and seconds from each group because they split the, let's say, the 155 men's class in half. There were 16 people, I think, and they split them into half and half of eight. And then the people that won went against each other in finals. The people that got second went against each other in finals. But then you never have the person in third going against the person in second, which if you just get the weak half, you could have somebody in second that is actually way weaker than the person in third, but they've just never had a chance to go up against each other, which I think is
Well,
kind of a
that is
bad way
how
to do it.
tournaments go. That is
True.
how a lot of tournaments, like jujitsu tournaments and everything, they run that way too, very much.
Right. I think the
If
only way you can really,
as soon as you get put into the B bracket, you can never get back to the A bracket
right.
and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't
Which which I think the double elimination has a advantage on in that perspective, but I
know.
also think this was better than double elimination because you're actually pulling a lot more.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
I pulled six times. I won two of them, lost four of them. But I mean, in double elimination, you could be put up against the two people that are eventually going to win first and second, and you'll never be able to pull anybody else. Like
Yeah,
that's
that's very accurate. But that was
yeah,
very impressive that you got those wins because you even trained the Wednesday before.
I know. Yeah, that's true. I only trained a couple days before, and this was my second tournament, and I went directly to pro. I wasn't I was feeling strong, but I wasn't feeling confident I could take any more than I had last time. My first tournament ever, I got one win, and this time
That
I
was the
went into
amateur
a pro tournament and I got two wins. Yeah,
No, that's
so
great. And then a bunch
yeah,
of our other guys did really well in the tournament as well, which is awesome.
yep, yep. A lot of people did really well. I think Mike Mendy got second,
Was
and
there
Evan got third.
was there payouts in the tournament or just
I don't think so. No, no, it was just medals. Yeah,
very
but
nice?
yeah, yeah, I think it was really cool. Overall, I think it was a great time. I'm still debating whether or not to go to the March 29 one. April 12, I'm going. So I think the March 29 is too close to the April 12 one. But
Depending, like you have like 2 weeks in between, but yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I guess it really depends how I feel that weekend. I might. Who knows? It is open, so I could have a
Yeah,
chance there.
yeah, I think the March 29th one, that's Joe Gould's tournament, right?
Yeah. Yeah. One in Brantford or Brampton or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Very nice.
Are you going to the you're not going to the April 12 one, right?
No, I'm
No.
gonna host. I'm gonna host an in-house club thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
My
Yeah,
phone's
because Evan and I are going up there. What's up?
my my phone's gonna shut down in like 2 minutes.
Okay. Well, it's 10 o'clock. I think this discussion's basically over, so
Sounds good.
I think yeah, I got nothing else to say. So
Perfect. Well, see
Ian,
you
if you're
tomorrow.
watching this, I got the hat. You're welcome. I met Ian there as well. Talked to him, talked to his son, Liam as well. It was great times.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
See you tomorrow, buddy,
All right.
at
Yeah,
practice.
for sure. I'll be there. Wait, no, I will not. I'll be in London. Never
Why?
mind. I'm going to London with Evan to the
But
London practice.
you said you were gonna have a match with Jake.
This Wednesday?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No way, dude. Not
You
this Wednesday.
yes, you agreed to yes.
I was okay. I did not think that they were talking about this Wednesday.
That was a this Wednesday talk. You got to look at when we're talking about. That was a this Wednesday,
Hold
and then
on.
before that, Riley had spoken about doing it on the second, but it doesn't work for anyone on the second.
That's what I thought they were talking about.
No, so now we want to do it on the 12th. Me and Riley talked, and that's why I put it last night in the chat, doing it on the 12th. Hey, let's end this up. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Guys, stay tuned. We will be dropping more videos, more podcasts. Hopefully very soon. We're
Yep.
going to have Mike Mendy on, the founder of OCC Arm Wrestling in Oxford County.
Yep.
And guys, thank you for watching.